Taiwan has raised the COVID alert to level 2.
That's after a spike in local cases this week, some of uncertain origin. In today's show, we'll explain what Taiwan's alert levels mean.
And we're also seeing record numbers of people getting vaccinated. We'll hear from Taiwan Insider's Staś Butler, who just got his first vaccine.
And in hashtag Taiwan, Leslie Liao has a fun story about Jetpacks. All that and more in today's show. I'm Natalie Tso.
I'm Andrew Ryan, and this is Taiwan Insider. Taiwan saw 13 new cases, local cases of COVID-19 on Thursday. That brings the total to nearly 70 local cases ever since a China Airlines pilot tested positive on April 20th. Now, we've heard a lot of bad news lately, but there's also been some good news, too.
That's right. Gene sequencing shows that a lot of these cases are tied together, so that's a little bit of relief.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, originally we thought that the origin might be unknown, but now that they've connected them to the China Airlines pilots and also the Novotel outbreak, I think a lot of people are maybe finding a little relief in that.
That's right.
But staying vigilant.
Yes. So Taiwan did raise the alert level to level 2 this week. And what does that mean? We'll tell you all about that in Taiwan Explained.
Taiwan's COVID alerts go from a level 1 at the bottom all the way up to a level 4. Now, up until this week when we entered a level 2, we'd actually been below a level 2 ever since the pandemic eased here nearly a year ago.
Right. So what do all the different levels mean? Well, let's start with level 1. This alert starts when imported cases result in isolated community transmission.
So this is when people start wearing masks, when there are temperature checks, and of course social distancing goes into place. What about a level 2? At a level 2, we have locally transmitted cases with unknown sources.
Now, this is when a lot of events get canceled and people get fined for not wearing masks. And what about level 3? Well, we haven't experienced that yet in Taiwan. But this begins when there are 3 clusters in 1 week or 10 local cases from unknown sources in 1 day. This is when many non-essential businesses close down.
Now, at this point, you're going to have to wear a mask whenever you leave your home. And also the size of the interactions you can have is limited. So, for example, if you're outside, it's 10 or fewer people. For indoors, it's 5 or fewer people. Now, what about a level 4? A level 4 goes into effect when there's a spike in local cases. So that's basically a daily average of over 100 cases for the last 14 days, with at least half of them transmitted from unknown sources. And the result is lockdown.
So I would say Taiwan is actually really cautious in terms of its levels.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's actually what's kept Taiwan safe for so long. So I think a lot of people overseas are thinking, 16 local cases,
what's the big deal?
Not a big deal. But that's actually why, we've been able to deal with it so successfully. Now, something that you're going to see is when you enter a lot of places, they're going to ask you for your name and your contact information, and that's going to help with contact tracing. But also, life is going to change in other ways. Here's a look at how.
New restrictions came into effect this week in Taiwan. That's in light of an increase in domestic COVID-19 cases with unknown sources. Indoor events are restricted to 100 people or less, and outdoor events will be capped at 500 until June 8th. Eating and drinking is now prohibited on trains, long-distance buses, ferries, and domestic flights. Health Minister Chen Sizong says cinemas, indoor venues, and night markets must limit crowds and enforce social distancing. If that's not possible, operations will be suspended. Chen also said restaurants must enforce social distancing and cannot allow more than 100 customers at a time. Restrictions like these even apply to singing karaoke. Chen says it's best for everyone to wear a mask. Singing with a mask is not bad. It's doable, he says. People used to think it's difficult, but I've found that you can do it if the mic is sensitive enough. What about large-scale graduations? Schools will have to propose a disease prevention plan. Performances can also go ahead as long as social distancing guidelines are enforced. Major chain stores are also taking precautions. As people come in contact with a lot of surfaces at grocery stores, one local store is now offering single-use gloves for customers as they choose fruit and other items. Some stores are no longer offering taste tests, seating, or the use of restrooms. As for the working world, Minister Chen says that companies can continue normal operations as long as employees practice social distancing, wear masks, and monitor their health.
Taiwan has been pretty successful in dealing with COVID-19, I think we can say.
That's true.
However, one area in which it's been lagging behind is vaccinations.
That's right, but Taiwan saw a record number of people getting vaccinated this week, and our very own Staś Butler got vaccinated on Wednesday and sent us this report.
When I woke up on Wednesday morning, I had a strange feeling. It was the first time in my life that I was genuinely excited to go to a hospital. That's because May 12th was the date of my COVID-19 vaccination appointment at Far Eastern Memorial Hospital. I took the metro in. Conveniently, the hospital is directly accessible from the station. I was pleasantly surprised by the amenities.
Quite a nice hospital, huh? Very fancy looking. Wow, it's got a food court. I mean, how many hospitals have a food court?
I headed up to the 5th floor.
We have to go and report somewhere. Give our forms to someone. These people are probably all waiting.
I'd heard a lot of people aren't willing to get vaccinated, so it was heartening to see the waiting area so full. Next was a little bit of paperwork. They needed my height, weight, and my blood pressure. I must have been a little nervous because those numbers were quite high. All that was left was to sit and wait for them to call our turn. That didn't take too long. A few questions about allergies and travel history, a quick briefing on what to expect, and then the moment you've all been waiting for. Look away now if you're squeamish. And that was that. I could practically feel the antibodies coursing through my veins.
I'm officially vaccinated. Now I have to wait half an hour to see if I have any side effects or anything like that. Thought to drink water.
And of course, I couldn't resist a photo opportunity.
Well, it's now been 7 hours since I got vaccinated and feeling fine. We'll let you know how it goes from here on out. Day 2, still feeling good. Had a little trouble sleeping, but no fever or anything. My arm is a little bit sore. I'm just going to take it easy today to make sure that, no side effects or anything like that.
Oh, it's always fun seeing people get vaccinated. I can't wait to get mine.
Yeah.
Now, we should tell you that everybody in the top 8 priority groups can get vaccinated for free right now in Taiwan. If you're planning to travel like Stash is, then you can actually pay for a vaccine.
And you need to plan ahead. I hear that most places are booked through May for the self-pay
Wow.
vaccines. They're getting popular. And you have to plan for 8 weeks in between the first and the second shot.
Alrighty.
All right, up next, #Taiwan.
A few days ago, I saw a news report on the UK Royal Navy testing out a brand new high-tech jetpack. The technology used a combination of powerful jet engines to lift somebody off the ground, basically turning them into Iron Man. When I saw that, I thought, well, that's kind of neat. I wonder when Taiwan can get its hand on that sweet, sweet technology. To be honest, I'm not holding my breath about when I'm going to be flying around on a jetpack. I just don't see Taiwan getting jetpacks anytime soon, but like most things in my life, I was dead wrong. Earlier this week, user 6_Lin666 posted this video to TikTok.
真的哎，真的是人哎。对啊。他在干嘛？为什么？我放大看，真的是人哎。
Take a closer look. The video shows what looks like a person flying over central Taiwan, presumably using a jetpack similar to the one I talked about earlier. The woman filming the video says she zoomed in and was certain that she saw a person. She also asked, why is he doing that? I mean, it's a jetpack. Do you really need a reason to use one? Anyway, this 15-second video caught the attention of Taiwan's Civil Aeronautics Administration. Can you imagine being an aeronautics administrator and using social media on the job only to find a video that you realize you have to report to your supervisor? I mean, how awkward is that? The CAA actually came out and made a statement responding to the video. It said that jetpacks are classified as aircrafts and that anyone using one has to abide by the Civil Aviation Act. The administration said that the import, ownership, and operation of a jetpack would have to be thoroughly documented with the relevant authorities. Officials say that nobody in Taiwan has registered a jetpack and that they're looking into the situation. Theoretically, unlawful operation of a jetpack could get you 5 years in prison or a 1 million new Taiwan dollar fine. Basically, they're telling people to be on the lookout for Iron Man. However, not everyone is convinced that the object in the video is a person wearing a jetpack. According to one expert, there are 4 reasons why the flying object in the video isn't a person wearing a jetpack. First, jetpacks are noisy and there's not much jetpack-related sound in the video. Second, there's no visible exhaust from the jetpack when there should be. Third, it's hard to tell if the object in the video is indeed a person wearing a jetpack. And fourth, there is no way to purchase a jetpack in Taiwan right now. So what does the expert think the flying object is? Well, he says it's a drone towing something relatively light. Whatever it is, I'm just glad it's not one of those UFO videos. Real or fake, those things give me the heebie-jeebies.
Before we leave you, a look at some of the other stories on our radar.
Taiwan is once again being excluded from the annual World Health Assembly meeting. That's despite international support for Taiwan's inclusion and the recent hashtag campaign Let Taiwan Help. In the past, Taiwan has attended the annual meeting of the WHO's decision-making body as an observer, but this year will be the 5th year in a row that Taiwan is barred from attending due to pressure from China. The Foreign Ministry says that Taiwan's diplomatic ties with Honduras are strong, despite the Latin American country's interest in getting the Chinese-made COVID-19 vaccine. The Honduran president recently floated the idea of setting up a trade office in China in order to get a supply of the Chinese vaccine. On Wednesday, a spokesperson for Taiwan's foreign ministry, Joanne Oh, said that Taiwan is doing all it can to help Honduras get the vaccines it needs. Oh condemned China's use of vaccine diplomacy to lure away Taiwan's allies. Hokkien language singer Olivia Tsao and Pinoy-Umayan language singer Sang Pui have each received 8 nominations for Taiwan's Golden Melody Awards. That's the most nominations anyone has received at Taiwan's version of the Grammys this year. Tsao is up for Best Female Hokkien Artist and Best Hokkien Album, while Sang Pui is up for Best Indigenous Language Singer and Album. Hot spring season may be over, but these birds don't seem to have noticed. A group of Formosan blue magpies were spotted taking a soak at a hot spring in Taidong County, southeastern Taiwan. That's quite a bird bath.
And our final question of the day, if you had a jetpack, what would you do? Leslie?
Andrew, if I had a jetpack, I couldn't wait to skip traffic.
That'd be fun.
So much of my day revolves around planning around how many cars are going to be on the street. And with a jetpack, I'm going to fly right over them.
Great answer. Natalie?
Well, let me show you in a picture. I would fly over the Qingsui Cliffs. Aren't they beautiful?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Wow, that's a great idea.
That's a fantastic idea. You ready for mine?
Yes.
Mine was similar to yours, take pictures. However, I'm afraid of heights, so I would be taking pictures of whoever's wearing that jetpack. Well, thank you so much for joining us for today's Taiwan Insider. Be sure to connect with us on social media.
Yes, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. For Taiwan Insider, I'm Natalie Tso.
I'm Leslie Liao.
And I'm Andrew Ryan. See you next week.